I went on back-to-back cruises on Mariner of the Seas for Royal Caribbean and Carnival's Mardi Gras ship. And in today's video, we're going to go over which ship I thought was the best bang for our buck. So buckle up and let's get into it. So if this is your first time to the channel, everyone, this video is a recap from our first two videos in this series. We went on Carnival's Mardi Gras ship, which was super awesome. And on that ship, there's just a ton to do, roller coasters, stuff like that. And in those videos, it was pretty epic because obviously, the crowds on there, they don't call it the Mardi Gras ship for no reason. But if you want a recap on that video, you can go check it out. But we went to Puerto Rico, which is some of the videos that you see here. We also went to the Dominican Republic, did some zip lining, horseback riding there if you want to check that out. And then we polished that off by going to Grand Turk, just had a beach break. And then on Mariner of the Seas, which is the other cruise for this video, we went to Cozumel, Mexico, did some four-wheeling, beach break, and then for our other excursion day for that one, we went to Coco Cay. It was a heck of a time, but now let's get into the video. Now, the first ship we're going to talk about is Mardi Gras by Carnival. Mardi Gras was a great cruise to be on, to be honest. The ship's layout is pretty awesome. It is one of their biggest ships, so I thought that was a plus as well. Now, there is some things that I did not like about this cruise that we'll go into detail about later, but now we're going to talk about what we did enjoy about the cruise and the activities and stuff involved that made this cruise relatively pretty fun. So the first thing you've always got to come to is the main stage. We had Kendall Fire as our cruise director on this cruise, which she was phenomenal. But just letting everyone know, if you want to come to these shows, make sure you come early. There is a downside to this main stage, and it's because you see the three decks. Those three decks, if you're on the second or third floor, you have to be right up against the rails to really see anything. So that is one of the big downfalls. Next, we've got the Heroes Lounge. Now, the Heroes Lounge, if you are a football fan, basketball fan, and you just like hyping it up with all the other people who are fans of all different sports teams, this is the place for you. They've got an ice cream station in there and tons of TVs and limitless things to do. Next is the Limelight Lounge. The Limelight Lounge is a disco party and a younger comedy show venue that you can go to. Next, we've got the Mardi Gras Theater. The Mardi Gras Theater, they do Family Feud in there. If you go to one thing on the ship, you have to go to the Family Feud show. It is super awesome. And this place, you don't have to worry about getting a bad view because all the seats are good views for those shows in the main theater. Next thing, the Punchline Comedy Club. If you go in here, you're going to have a great time. They have all the adult comedy shows in here, along with adult late night game night. And those are hilarious. You will honestly start crying from laughing so hard. It is so great. And then we've got, obviously, mini golf, the water slides, and roller coaster. Roller coaster is $20 a ride. And then we've got the obstacle course and basketball course. You all know we got to go there. And then finally, we've also got the Serenity Retreat. It's an adult-only pool and lounge area. If you're an adult and you like peaceful, non-screaming kid areas, this is the place for you. And it's got a salad bar that is also included for free. And then finally, we've got the last thing, which is the Lido Deck. The Lido Deck is where everything happens. This goes for belly flop contests. They have DJ parties and movies out there on the pool deck at night. And it is awesome and a great time out there. So I also recommend doing that. Now for what everyone cares about the most, food on the ship. So on Carnival ship, it's not like Royals. Royals is kind of like just main dining and the buffet and maybe a hot dog place and some ice cream. This ship had multiple different restaurants. Some of them included, some of them not. But the best ones that I'm going to tell you to go to is Blue Iguana. If you go to Blue Iguana, you have to get burritos. If you go to Chibang's, it is great Chinese food, but you have to put in a reservation unless you have like the unlimited dining package, and then you can just hop around from restaurant to restaurant. But if you just have main dining, you kind of have to put in a reservation, and it can book up quickly. The Cucina del Capitano, I think that's how you pronounce it. But yeah, you have to eat there. Best freaking Italian food in the game. And let me tell you, best customer service by the servers there. Now the pizza place, they're open till like 1 a.m. I recommend going there. At least get a slice of pizza a day. It's delicious, and it's included in your cruise. Next thing is Pig and Anchor. Pig and Anchor is best during sporting events. They do have outdoor seating areas and outdoor serving stations that they periodically open instead of the inside, so you might have to go out there to get your food. Next thing is main dining. Quick little thing about main dining. I loved the views. I did not like the service, and the food was very subpar on this cruise. I don't know why, but me and my cousin ended up going to about everywhere else other than main dining after about the third day because it just kind of made us sick. So that was kind of upsetting. And then we got Big Chicken that was just shown a second ago. Big Chicken is a chicken place outside. The only downside about that, the fries sometimes extremely crispy. So sometimes you have to ask them to make some fresh ones. But overall, pretty good. It's got like a little barbecue station as well. And then we've got the marketplace. The only thing that I did not like about the marketplace only had 2 buffet stations open on both sides of the marketplace upstairs, and not very many options. So if you go there, maybe it'll be different. We did travel around the holidays and stuff, so maybe it is a little bit different, but those were the downsides and upsides to food. Now, the last 2 things I want to talk about is the staff and the overall customer service on the ship. There was a couple things, and I'm not trying to sound dramatic, that kind of bother me as a person who spends a lot of money cruising. Number one, usually, like on Royal Caribbean cruises, I've never not seen my room attendant, and I don't think we ever met our room attendant. I don't know if it was a girl or a guy because we never saw them. And sometimes the cleanliness of your room was kind of subpar. I'm talking like if you shaved your face, they would miss stuff. Obviously it happens, but it was kind of Next thing, everyone minus the cruise director just always seemed to be like upset and seemed like they hated their life on the ship. And that kind of like portrays a bad image on like the ship. You're trying to have a good time and everyone's negative, so it makes it hard to have a good time on the ship. So that was kind of And the main focus to that is with the servers and stuff. A lot of the servers never really on most ships, they'll memorize your name, greet you when you're in the main dining hall, and a lot of them, they didn't even know our name until like day 5 or 6, and it just didn't seem like they were very energetic or liked their job. And then the other thing too is it was kind of slow getting your food and stuff on this ship, which I understand because it is a bigger ship and they have a ton of food options all over the place. But if you're spending a ton of time in the main dining waiting for your food, that is kind of a bummer as well. Now, the positives of everything, the Italian restaurant, and I know I keep bringing it up because it was so delicious, but the Italian restaurant, the server who served us on that restaurant did an amazing job. Super polite, knew our names after like 2 minutes of greeting us, and did a phenomenal job. And then Kendall Fire, she did a great job. She is very high energy, so if she is your cruise director on a future cruise, you will appreciate how high energy she is. But the last thing too, as far as customer service and staff, is the overall cleanliness of the ship was pretty good. So that is a positive. But my overall thoughts on this ship, the ship was nice. It had a very nice layout minus I did not like the main stage. And I know I brought it up earlier in the video, but the main stage is such an awkward layout on this ship that it kind of makes it hard to go to any of those shows in the main stage area, because if you don't get anywhere down on the main floor or front row on the second or third floor, you can't see the show unless you're standing or blocking someone else's view. So that was kind of a bummer. The other thoughts that I have, again, customer service, very subpar. And then lastly, I was very just disappointed in the main dining food. It just didn't taste good. And a lot of times it would just upset our stomachs. And I've never had that on a cruise ship before. So I don't know what was going on with that, but I was upset about that a little bit. And it kind of like ruined the cruise a little bit to have to always be trying to go to the marketplace buffet or the specialty restaurants every single time you want to find something to eat, because you go on a cruise to get that luxury dining feeling, and we didn't really get that on this cruise. But the positives, like I said, Kendall Fire, the cruise director, she did a killer job. If she ever watches this video, which I doubt she will, you're awesome. The next things, the comedy club and the adult game nights. If you go to one thing on the ship, you have to go to those because they are great. The Italian restaurant was good. And lastly, I would have to say, if you like kind of gambling a little bit, go to the Deal or No Deal show. They call some people from the audience onto the stage, and they read off like a number or whatever to pick the contestants, and you have a chance to win, I think, $1,000. And so I thought that was fun. And then you have your own individual cards where you can also win money by peeling up your briefcase numbers. I don't know why I couldn't think of it. But yeah, overall, good experience. Let's get into Royal Caribbean's cruise. Now on to Mariner of the Seas. Mariner of the Seas, I thought, was a really, really nice ship, considering it's not as big as the Oasis class ships for Royal Caribbean. Now this ship, the last one I went on Allure of the Seas, and that has the park inside, Central Park and all that stuff. So this ship was definitely different, and I kind of liked the way that they had this ship laid out. So we're going to go over the things I did and did not like about this ship, and some things that you guys definitely need to try if you go on the Mariner of the Seas in an upcoming cruise. So first things first, we're going to talk about all the activities you can do on the ship. And let me tell you, there is a lot to do. Starting off with mini golf. You need to play mini golf at least once while you're on the ship. And then move over to the basketball court where they have basketball competitions, beanbag toss, and dodgeball. And then head on over to the water slides. The water slides, there are only 2 on this ship, but they are a blast. And don't let it fool you. There's never a long line. I've never seen a long line. Also, the Flow Rider, give it a try. They give you lessons. You have to get a wristband to go on it, but in my opinion, super fun. And then you got the shows. So they have a magic show, a juggling show, and the ice show on this ship. And if you go to all those shows, I guarantee it, your cruise will be a blast. Now you guys know the next thing we have to talk about is food. Johnny Rockets is the one exception on the ship that is something you have to pay for that I think is worth it. The other 2 places are Hibachi. It's a Hibachi grill and a Chops grill. Though the Chops grill is located in the Windjammer, which we're in right now, and the Hibachi grill is down by the main stage. But the Windjammer, phenomenal food in the Windjammer. You can't go wrong with the views and the foods every morning and for lunch if you guys are hungry on the ship. Also, another thing, main thing you got to do, Cafe Promenade. That is the place where you're going to get pizza whenever you want. I don't think the pizza place closes until 3 a.m. And then finally, we have the main dining. Main dining on this ship. Royal Caribbean never fails to amaze me. Always delicious. I wish I would have recorded the dining room, but it was beautiful. All right, now as far as staff goes, Staff on this ship was polar opposite to Carnival's ship. So the staff on the ship, super friendly, super outgoing, and we saw a room service person every single day, which was super awesome. Also, main dining, they knew our names day one. That is a big thing for me because it gives you that sense of like home and comfort and kind of having people who know you. And then just the little things like towel art and stuff like that. And then the overall experience of the ship, I say I like all the guests that were on board. All the guests were super fun. The casino was a scam. I honestly think Carnival's casino is better than Royal Caribbean's casino. I spent about the same amount of money in both, and I did way better and had more of a fun experience on Carnival's ship in the casino. Now, as far as shows and the layout, way better than Carnival's. It's a smaller ship, but as far as the layout and where everything was placed on the ship, it made sense versus Carnival's was kind of just all over the place. And I don't know how I feel about that. Maybe it's just my personal opinion. You guys may think otherwise, but me, I thought it was kind of eh. And then there's just tons of stuff to do for kids on that ship versus Mardi Gras. I didn't think there was as much stuff to do for kids. And then as far as which one was better, the drum roll please. I think personally the Royal Caribbean ship was better. And this is just based off of my experience for those two cruises and the excursions and stuff like that. The first cruise, it was just me and my cousin, so it did make things a little bit different versus going with your wife or whatever. And the second cruise for Royal was with, it was a guy's trip, there's 4 of us, and there was a lot more people our age, which made things a little bit more entertaining, and you could go to the clubs and hang out with everybody. And versus Carnival, it was a little bit of an older crowd and not as fun as Royal. Now, as far as customer service, again, customer service was better, the layout was better, and the food on Royal, the food just wins every time. So, without any further ado, the winner of the cruise competition is Royal Caribbean for this go around. Maybe I'll have a better experience on Carnival. We'll find out here soon. I'm gonna have to book another Carnival cruise. We do have a couple Royal Caribbean cruises booked for 2024 and hopefully one later this year. So stay tuned for that, and maybe we'll book a Carnival one or maybe a Norwegian. Switch it up. And we'll see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. Be awesome and peace out, everybody.